Morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Ngidi. I'm your lecturer for multilingualism and cultural diversity in classroom 4804. I'd like to take you through my presentation today. Firstly, we'll talk about multilingualism. Significantly, it's very important to mention the issue of a language. A language is a tool used to transport ideas, thought, information, message from one specific language, sometimes to the other, or rather from the very same language, decoding from your mind. Then you transport the information to the learners. A language is exceptional to the human phenomena. A teacher uses a language to transport the ideas and thought from herself to the learner, and we use a language to educate learners, not only to teach learners. By listening, learners follow the instruction. Okay, in the South African context, we have got 11 official languages, 9 being indigenous, and then 2 being indigenous languages. Now, 9 indigenous languages involve isiZulu, siXhosa, Sepedi, Sesotho, Setswana, Siswati, Tshivenda, Xitsonga, and isiNdebele. Now, we also have got English and Afrikaans, which are not indigenous languages. Okay. Now, but during the apartheid era, the South African indigenous people were not given privileges to use their South African indigenous languages, which may involve isiXhosa, like I've said, the 9 indigenous. But Act numbers 108 of 1996 recognizes and intends to safeguard all the South African languages and to signal the importance of promoting the South African language. The Constitution and the Constitutional Organization, the Pan South African Languages Board, was established to safeguard and maintain our languages. Okay. South Africa has a history of prejudice and inequality practice in the use of LOLT in the education system. During the apartheid era, language and education policies were designed as an ally of the segregatory practice followed in the National Party manifesto, right? Therefore, recognizing that the indigenous languages were not part and parcel of those which were prestigious, the South African post-apartheid government, the Department of Education has designed the following policies. The South African School Act 84 of 1996 and the Language in the Education Policy of 1997. Now, the LIEP expanded its purpose to the revised National Curriculum Statement of 2002, the Curriculum and Assessment Policy Statement. Now, CAPS of 2010 and the draft introduction of the African languages in the South African schools of 2013 readdresses this educational legacy. The overreaching aim of LIEP is to promote instruction in the mother tongue and additional languages as a strategy to improve learners' communication opportunity. LIEP intends to promote equitable use of all official languages in the education system and makes provisions for learners to be part of the decision of the language of instruction they prefer. This policy also seeks to ensure that no learner is discriminated against, which is created by a situation where L1 is not used as one of the LOLTs in the education system. The language in education policy. Now, in practice, the choice of which LOLT to use a particular school is determined by the learners, parents, and teachers through the school governing body. This means that learners can request a particular language of instruction from the 11 official languages. However, the SGB can deny the learner's request and opt for alternative LOLT based on the practicability In schools, LIEP put into practice the following ways. The parents exercises the language choice on behalf of their minor learner. Learners must choose their language of teaching upon admission to school. Where a certain language is not available, learners may request the Provincial Education Department to make provision for the instruction in the chosen language. The school will provide learners of instruction that is requested, no fewer than 40 learners in grade 1 to grade 6 or 35 learners in grade 7 to grade 12 request a preferred language is at a particular school. Learners whose L1 is English do not transition into different language of instruction at grade 4 and may miss the multilingualism experience enjoyed by their peers. The language chosen for instruction in grade 1 to grade 3 may not be the learner's L1, but to practicality and geographically location, the STB may select a widely spoken language in the area. Parents may lack trust in the L1 as medium of instruction as they fear that their children will miss the global opportunity. Moreover, because of its long history, the South African education system, English is well-resourced language of instruction for the obvious reason most SGB choose it as the language of instruction. Therefore, the focus of Learning Unit 1 was to promote the overview of historical context, judicial and the policy documents that underpins the multilingualism context in South Africa. We drew from the Constitution, Language Policy Framework, Language Policy for Higher Education, Schools Act, and the Language in Education Policy to provide a context which multilingualism is developed nationally and in the school context. Drawing from these documents and the South African historic context, we indicated the need of multilingualism and multicultural orientation in the South African schools. In addition, we highlighted the available resources. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to conclude today's lesson by saying South African context does need to promote especially the indigenous languages, that we may be able to, at our respective schools, instruct the school to use our mother tongue languages, that we may be able to understand all the possible questions as needed. I thank you. Have a very blessed day.